Well, hey everybody, this is Chris DeFurio with Keys to the Shop. Welcome to another edition of Shift Break. Today's episode is brought to you by La Marzocco, who's been creating espresso machines by hand in Florence since 1927. One of my most recommended pieces of equipment from them is the Linea PB. This machine is the epitome of consistency, reliability, and durability. It is simple to use, and as somebody who has spent many years on the PB as a barista, I feel like for these reasons, not to mention the beauty of the machine, is a great reason to look into it for your cafe. But that's just one example of many different machines that they have that display their innovation and ultimately their focus on making sure that you get the tools you need to thrive in your coffee shop. Check them out at lamarzocousa.com, but better yet, email them, info@lamarzocousa.com, and one of their salespeople will be happy to have a conversation with you. And when you do so, when you reach out, just let them know that Keys to the Shop sent you. I really think this is a great choice for you and your cafe. Again, go to their website, check them out, lamarzocousa.com. Today's episode is also brought to you by Espressly, who creates custom-branded mobile apps for the specialty coffee retail community. It helps you stand out from your competitors because you're not just a dot on a map with Espressly. You get that real estate on the customer's phone. They have your app, it's your logo, it's your colors, it's the feel and culture in the palm of their hand, plus the convenience of mobile ordering. Now, they fully integrate with Square at Espressly, and one of the great things about that is that you get a centralized loyalty program for each coffee shop where customers earn and redeem points in the mobile app or in person. It helps drive repeat orders from customers as they're encouraged to earn those points. It's fully customizable in Square for how points are earned and redeemed, and Espressly does not charge a separate fee for having loyalty turned on in the app. When you sign up for the Square loyalty trial, it starts at just $45 per month per location. And this is a great reason to look into working with Espressly. To do that, go ahead and reach out to them over at espressly.co. That's espressly.co. All right, everybody. Well, today we are going to be talking about, what does excellent look like? What does done look like, or success? We want to make people successful. We want to pursue excellence. We want to get things done. And the question, really the fair question, is what does that look like? And I think that's the hardest question to answer because in the back of our minds, we're not wanting to answer it. And maybe the reason we're not wanting to answer it, or we haven't answered it sufficiently in many cases, is because we fear if we do, we're going to stagnate and people are just going to do what we tell them to do. Oh no, people doing what we tell them to do. How awful. I mean, it depends on what you're telling them to do, right? If you're defining excellence by saying, here is what, your speech should exemplify. Here is what your motions should look like. Here are where things go and what clean looks like and orderly. And that's just as practical as talking about first in, first out. This is what my refrigerator in the back should look like. These items on this shelf, these items on that shelf, things lined up, dates that are the oldest are pulled front, that kind of thing. That's very basic. But now take that and extend that out to the universe of hospitality and other areas that are a little less tangible. And you will find it's a difficult thing to do, but it is possible to show people and to identify what excellence looks like, both in the tangible and the intangible, if you take enough time to figure out what you want. And ultimately, I think that's what it boils down to. Either the fear of giving people a goal that they meet and now everyone's just going to whatever, we've met the goal, we're not going to work anymore, which is silly because I think if you've got a good team that people are reaching for this goal and they're trying to work on it together, they're naturally going to evolve the brand, and increased business and movement of the business and growth is going to create new needs and new goals naturally. So I don't think you have to worry about that. But the other reason why we're not doing it is because we just don't know what it looks like. Honestly, we just don't know what to tell people. We like the word excellence a lot. We like the word success. I want to set you up to be successful. And we tell people either in the opening shift or the closing shift, we say, now we want to have you set up your coworkers for success. And that has become such a trope and an overused statement. Reason why? Because we don't honestly know what that looks like. And we should always follow these things up with, and this is exactly what I mean. Here's how you set them up for success. Success means being able to reach for something and it being there. Success means that they don't have to do over again something that was your responsibility. Success means that they can focus on creating moments and experiences for the guest unhindered by work left undone and that type of thing. And you can go on to define what success looks like. And not only that, but you can use this frame of mind of defining things for what it looks like for a manager to be doing a good job. And often we only really assume that somebody is doing a good job if we feel good about them. That's two different things. They could be doing a great job, but you feel a certain way because you ate too many hot dogs the night before and you may not be paying attention to all their wins and all this other stuff. You need to figure out an objective way to identify whether somebody is actually winning at work, whether they're being successful as a manager or a trainer or a barista. What are they doing? How are you showing up to even view how they are doing their jobs? You can't just rely on your feeling about them without having some outside your feelings metrics to determine success for those roles. So this extends to the very bones of the organization, defining success and defining excellence as well. So if we say excellence in the cafe is working clean, well, it is probably good to show people what clean looks like or what orderly looks like, and to define for people the frequency and rhythm of how many times a bathroom is cleaned during a shift. And I'm always shocked. I'm genuinely shocked at how little bathrooms get cleaned throughout the day. People will say, well, we clean it once at night and then at the shift change, and that's about it. And then customers, we rely on them to come up to us and tell us we're out of toilet paper or the bathroom use of our own employees, but it's not actually on the checklist or the expected rhythm. That's not excellence. In my mind, that's just basic stuff. We should be walking in the bathroom and checking it every hour. I know that seems like a lot, but there are lots of things we should be doing at the top of the hour, like cleaning our screens and screws and doing some back flushing with water or switching those things out and paying attention to the small things throughout the cafe. And whatever that looks like for you, it might be different, but it needs to be intentional, purposeful, defined. And now if you do those things, we are practicing excellence. And that allows you and your team to look back on your work and say, we did a good job. I did a good job. I accomplished excellence. I was successful today. I recognize success and I recognize excellence in other people. And that brings me joy too. But we live in this, ships passing in the night kind of reality where we're always assuming kind of the negative, and then we try to emphasize all caps excellence and success, but we're never really defining it. And we burn ourselves out this way because we're not really taking the opportunity to see that we actually might be more successful than we realize. We actually might be more excellent than we realize. It's just we haven't taken the time to define it, and therefore we don't know how to identify it when it does happen. There has to be kind of an end goal here. That's not called status quo. It's called achievement. It's called accomplishment. We should be proud of those things. So that's what I have for you today. I would encourage you, if there are loose standards, emphasize standards that are just loose, like bold print excellence and success type standards that you have, but they're not defined, I would encourage you to sit down and put some detail to those things and help people truly recognize when they have achieved excellence and success within your business, when things are done and done well. And because of that, you and your team are going to be much more capable of seeing the great work that you do and continuing to do great work. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining me again on a Shift Break episode. I hope that you are subscribed to the show and that you're sharing these episodes. That means a lot to me. And I will see you here next week on another edition of Shift Break, from keys to the shop.